Howdy y'all, this is Josh at firstgenoffroad.com. Thanks for watching. Do me a favor and subscribe to my channel and you'll get every video I make. If you like this video, it really helps me out, and feel free to leave a comment. Today I'm super excited because I get to talk to you about my brand new Brute Force Fab bumper. This bumper is sold on the website at firstgenoffroad.com. We have several styles. We have a base bumper with no hoop. We have one like this with a low profile hoop. We also have one that has a full hoop. We have one that's ARB style, and then we have one with a full hoop and headlight protections. Every bumper comes with 4-inch square fog light cutouts, and it comes with a winch plate that will accept any basic winch, a Warren, a Smitty build. I hope you like this video. I'm gonna take you along through the entire install process, start to finish, and I'll give you a couple of tips and tricks that I learned along the way. I just got the bumper, man, and it looks real good. I got it in the back of the truck there, and I tell you what, man, those welds are so nice. The place I had it delivered to, they also do little fab work, and when it showed up, it was drawing a crowd. I love it, man. I like it more than I thought I was going to. When you order a bumper, it's going to come in shipped on a pallet and wrapped in plastic like this. Just got the bumper back from the powder coater, and man, it's awesome. I tried to match the color to my wheels about as much as I can. I don't know if it's gonna be perfect, but I think it's dirty. It'll be hard to tell a difference. I think it's gonna look great. So this bumper comes with 2 side supports and this little bracket that helps to lower the power steering cooler. And what I should have done is just powder coated all of this when I powder coated the bumper, but I messed up and I forgot about these pieces. So rather than trying to paint these pieces to match the bumper, these are gonna go along the frame anyway. I'm just gonna paint them a matte black. If I did it over again, I would just powder coat it all together. Acetone I picked up at my local hardware store, and we'll just wipe these down and get rid of all the grease and dirt, and that'll give us a clean surface to paint on. Self-etching primer. I'm gonna spray paint this flat black color. And I used this little nail puller, and I feel like that's worked better than anything else. I ruined every one of them, but I was ruining them anyway. They're old, they're fragile, they're broken, so I just pulled them out with this thing. Worked great. There are 2 more bolts that are kind of hiding. It's right there. There's another one hiding up here. Hard to see, but it's there. The bumper is almost ready to be pulled off, but before we do, we want to disconnect the fog lights. Well, that came off easy. So we have this piece of bumper foam. We're just going to pull that off. There's a bolt here and a bolt here, and they're both 14. They hold this bumper plate on both sides, 1, 2, and 1, 2. But before we take those off, we want to take these off. 1, 2, 3. If we take those off first, it's going to bend this. So like this takes a 14. Oh yeah, good. And remember, we had to take off this power steering cooler, and now it just kind of dangles because the bumper that it was attached to is no more. So to help remedy this, the bumper comes with this little piece right here, and how that works is this little bracket right here on the bottom side. There's this bolt that you're supposed to unbolt, but you know, mine was so rusted it snapped off. Daggone it. So assuming you didn't have a lot of rust and it didn't snap off, then you would just unbolt it and just bolt it onto here, and then here's your power steering cooler. It just bolts to there. Anyway, I think my drill's around here somewhere, so I'm gonna get to work. Alright, so I got that bolted on. Let's see, I don't know if you can see that or not, but anyway, so that holds the power steering cooler in place, so I'm not going to move around too much. So I would say this is case by case, right? So here we are on the passenger side, and it's all pretty much hanging loose on this side. On my driver's side, there was a little pin that was positioned here that I kept, but that pin is gone here, so I'm going to cut this off from about here to there, just straight across. And I'm just using a pair of shears here. So one more thing I'm gonna do before I install this bumper is use this opportunity to clean up a little bit of this surface rust. So after this bumper's on, we're gonna get a pretty good look at the side of the frame here and also here. So what I'm gonna do is just take a wire brush and start by just kind of brushing off a little bit of this rust. And then once I've scraped off a decent amount of rust, what I'm gonna use is this rust dissolver. It's naval jelly. I'll put a link on Amazon for this stuff. This stuff is really good at getting rid of rust. I would double glove though, it will burn. And then we'll just clean up with a little acetone. The other thing I'm going to do is take this tow hook off, because with the new bumper I'm not going to need this anymore, so I'm just going to get rid of it. Okay, so we got the power steering cooler in place. Remove that tow hook from underneath. We got the frame scrubbed up and painted a little nicer. I think that's it. Oh, we have our little splash guards cut off. And so now we're ready to put the bumper on. There's two ways to do this. One is to get you and two other buddies in like a case of beer, and two guys hold it in place while you bolt it down, but I'm alone today, so I've got the bumper on a piece of lumber, on a moving blanket, and then on 2 jacks there. And so I'll just sort of just kind of roll these jacks into place and jack up the bumper and put it in the place and then bolt it on. The bolts that you removed from the old bumper you're going to reuse, so I have all the hardware here. I have 4 of them, and you know, one's going to go here and one's going to go here, and that's on each side. So I'm going to use my tallow again. These bolts had a lot of rust on them, and I don't want to fight it when I'm reattaching this bumper because it's going to be heavy, and I have a feeling that I'm going to be doing this kind of one-handed for a second. So I'm going to go ahead and lube up all 4 of these bolts with a little bit of tallow. Okay, well dang, that was really tough. Here's my advice. When you do this, make sure you have a couple of buddies helping you. I did it with the jack, and I had to get my wife and my 11-year-old son to help me, and it worked out, but yeah, anyway. So now we're getting close, right? So, man, it's looking good. All right, so I think this is the last step. So here we are under the truck. We need to put these last little bits of hardware on. So these pieces that we painted are gonna go right here. Well, and before I do anything, I want to take a couple measurements because I know that when I put the new bumper on, the added weight is going to make the front end sit a little bit lower, and I want to see how much I lose. It's measuring from the middle of the wheel to the bottom of the fender, about 21.25 maybe. Center of the wheel, the bottom of the wheel well, 21.25. Top of the tire to the fender is about 5.5. Top of the tire to bottom of the fender, 5 3/8, 2 3/4. We'll see if that changes any after we're done. 4 3/4. One thing I forgot to do before I took off the bumper was measure the difference between the distance from the bumper to the ground with the old bumper versus the new bumper. So this was the bottom of the old bumper, and that's about as high as I can get it, so that's where I'm going to take the measurement from and just kind of see. So that's about 20 inches. The lowest point from the bumper to the ground is about 26 3/4, and then out to the side about 29.5. right, guys. Well, give me a thumbs up, subscribe, feel free to comment. I'll try to respond to everyone. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys out there.